Anybody want to tell me about what we have read upon now? Like what we read last week, the week before that? All right, James. Yes. Go ahead.
Oh, I know. Harry Potter is going into the school. Now the sorting hat has been sorted all of the students.
Okay, very good. Yeah, Michael, do you have to add on to that?
Harry Potter wore the thinking cap.
All right. So yes, based on yep, very good job. So based on what I heard from you guys, I think everyone has been sorted to their own school academy, and then they're having dinner afterwards, right? So would you guys want to watch a video of how they're being sorted, or have you guys watched that yet? All right. So here's the in the actual movie, this is what it looked like when they're having that dinner.
I also remember the ghost taking off his head.
Yep. Can you guys hear this? Can you guys hear this?
Not really.
Not really. All right. Let's see. Now?
Oh no. Okay, relax.
A little better?
Mental, that one. I'm telling you.
Kinda.
Better now?
Right then.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Gryffindor!
Draco Malfoy.
Slytherin!
That's not a witch or wizard who went bad. It wasn't in Slytherin.
Susan Bones.
Harry, what is it?
Where shall I put
Nothing.
you?
Nothing, I'm fine.
Let's see. I know. Hufflepuff!
Ronald Weasley.
Ha! Another Weasley. I know just what to do with you. Gryffindor!
Harry Potter.
Difficult, very difficult. Plenty of courage, I see. Not a bad mind either. There's talent, oh yes, and a thirst to prove yourself. But where to put you?
Not Slytherin. Not Slytherin.
Not Slytherin, eh? Are you sure? You could be great, you know. It's all here in your head. And Slytherin will help you on the way to greatness. There's no doubt about that. No? Well, if you're sure, better be Gryffindor!
Here we go. Yep. So anyone want to tell me a little bit about what they thought of the what they thought about that video right there? Yep. Yes. I mean, you guys can just unmute and say, like, I don't need you guys to like raise your hand at all.
Nice. Very good.
Very good. All right. That's it. Well, I guess let's just get into the reading. Here we go. All right. I'll read this one, and then later on, I might ask you guys to volunteer and read. All right. On Harry's other side, Percy Weasley and Hermione are talking about lessons. I do hope they start right away. There's so much to learn. I'm particularly interested in transfiguration, turning something into something else. Of course, it's supposed to be very difficult. You'll be starting small, just matches and needles and that sort of thing. Harry, who was starting to feel warm and sleepy, looked up at the high table again. Hagrid was drinking deeply from his goblet. Professor McGonagall was talking to Professor Dumbledore. Professor Quirrell, in his absurd turban, was talking to a teacher with greasy black hair, a hooked nose, and sallow skin. It happened very suddenly. The hook-nosed teacher took past Quirrell's turban straight into Harry's eyes, and a sharp, hot pain shot across the scar on Harry's forehead. Ouch! Harry clapped a hand to his head. What is it? Asked Percy. Nothing. The pain had gone as quickly as it had come. Harder to shake off was a feeling Harry had gotten from the teacher's look. A feeling that he didn't like Harry at all. Who's that teacher talking to Professor Quirrell? He asked Percy. Anyone want to read this one? Just try to get some volunteers here. Anyone raising your? I could not tell if you were raising your hand. All right, there goes Andy. Want to read this?
Yeah.
Here we go. Go ahead.
Oh, you know Quirrell already, do you? No wonder he's looking so nervous. That's Professor Snape. He teaches potions, but he doesn't want to. Everyone knows he, after Quirrell's job, knows an awful lot about the dark arts, Snap. Harry watched Snap for a while, but Snap didn't look at him again. At last, the deserts to disappear, and Professor Dumbledore got to his feet again. The hall fell silent. Just a few more words that we are all fed and watered. I have a few start of term notice to give you. First year should be noted that the first on the grounds is forbidden to all pupils, and a few of our older students will do well to remember that as well. Dumbledore's twinkling eyes flashed in the direction of the Weasley's turn. I have also been asked by Mr. Flitwick, the caretaker, to remind you all that no magic should be used between class in the corridors. Trials will be held in the second week of the term. Anyone interested in playing for their house team should contact Madam Hook.
All right. Yes. Very good job here. Very good. So, all right. From these two pages, anyone has any questions? Like, Any words they didn't understand or have a question about a professor they want to ask me? Anyone? I mean, if you guys have questions, just unmute and say it, because when I'm presenting, I cannot see you guys, so that's going to be really hard. No one has any questions? All right, I do have a question now. Does any of you guys, like, I mean, I'm saying anyone because, like, maybe not, but anyone knows who this guy is?
Yeah.
Who is he?
Professor. I think he was the mustache man.
This guy right here?
No, the person with the brown mustache.
That is Hagrid.
No.
You sure? I don't know, like, you might be right. I might be completely wrong, but here, let me just double check. There we go.
Oh wait. It's
Yeah, he's a
white
principal, or
mustache.
yeah. He's a headmaster of the school. Here, I'll show you guys this. He's this guy, the guy with the long beard. And also his name is pronounced Dumbledore. And what you guys talking about are Hagrid, which is this guy right here. Right? Is that who you're thinking about? And in the movie we just watched, does anyone recognize who that Snape guy is? Or who do you guys think he is? Because we just watched a movie, right? Or we just watched a clip of the movie. Here we go. Let's go back real quick. I'll show you guys who that guy is. Right there. That guy right there. Do you guys see him? That's Snape. Oh, my bad. Here we go. Right there. That guy right there is Snape. He's a guy who just looked at Harry and then his forehead has a scar and nothing hurts right there. See that?
Harry, what is it?
Nothing.
Y'all see that? All right, here we go. We're back at it. Anyone else has any more questions about this? Maybe not. If not, we'll keep on going. And finally, I must tell you that this year, the third floor quarter on the right-hand side is out of bounds to everyone who does not wish to die a very painful death. Harry laughed, but he was one of the few who did. He's not serious, he muttered to Percy. Must be, said Percy, frowning at Dumbledore. It's odd because he usually gives us a reason why we're not allowed to go somewhere. The forest full of dangerous beasts, everyone knows that. I do think he might have told us prefects, at least. And now, before we go to bed, let us sing the school song, cried Dumbledore. Harry noticed that the other teacher's smiles had become rather fixed. Dumbledore gave his wand a little flick, as if he was trying to get a fly off the end, and a long golden ribbon flew out of it, which rose high above the table and twisted itself, snake-like, into words. So from this, do you guys think he was being serious when he said that, like, they cannot go to the third floor quarter? Anyone think he's, like, actually serious that, like, they absolutely cannot go? No? No, I think he's serious. All right, that's perfect. Have you guys watched the movie at all? The Harry Potter movie? If you have, give me a thumbs up. Oh, wow. I see a few people actually have watched the movie. Okay, yeah. So this is Harry Potter in the movie, right? And this is what he looked like right now. See, this is him right now. This is him when he was like, I want to say 14, 15. This is him in his 20s, and this is him now. He's like 30 something now. You know, time has flown by, but here we go. Let's keep on going. I see some chats. I have. Are you Chinese? Yes, I am. Whoever just asked me that, yes. All right, here we go. Anyone want to read this? No one? All right, I'll read it. Everyone pick their favorite tune, said Dumbledore, and off we go. And the school glowed. I cannot sing this, so I'll just read it out. Like I knew it from the movie, but I forgot how to sing it. Hogwarts, Hogwarts, Hoggy Warty Hogwarts. Teach us something, please. Whether we be old and bald, or young with scabby knees, our heads could do with filling with some interesting stuff. For now, they're bare and full of air, dead flies and bits of fluff. So teach us things worth knowing. Bring back what we forgot. Just do your best. We'll do the rest. And learn until our brains are rot. Everybody finished the song at different times. At last, only the Weasley twins were left singing along to a very slow funeral march. Dumbledore conducted their last few lines with his wand, and when they had finished, he was one of those who clapped loudest. So this is actually what Hogwarts looked like in the movie. That looked cool, right? So you can't see like this is a model they built when they had the movie, because like they had to take a few far away pictures of it. So they had to just get a model for that. And it was a pretty cool looking one. What do you guys think? Do you guys think it looks cool? Yes, looks cool, maybe, kind of. All right, here we go again. Music, he said, wiping his eyes. A magic beyond all we do here. And now, bedtime, off you trot. The Gryffindor first years followed Percy through the chattering crowds, out of the great hall, and up the marble staircase. Harry's legs were like lead again, but only because he was so tired and full of food. He was too sleepy even to be surprised that the people in the portraits along the corridors whispered and pointed as they passed, or that twice Percy led them through doorways hidden behind sliding panels and hanging tapestries. They climbed more staircases, yawning and dragging their feet, and Harry was just wondering how much farther they had to go when they came to a sudden halt. A bunch of walking sticks was floating in midair ahead of them, and as Percy took a step towards them, they started throwing themselves at him. Peeves, Percy whispered to the first years. A poltergeist. He raised his voice. Peeves, show yourself. A loud, rude sound, like the air being let out of a balloon, answered. Do you want me to go to the Bloody Baron? there was a pop, and a little man with wicked dark eyes and a wide mouth appeared, floating cross-legged in the air, clutching the walking sticks. So, what do you guys think this person is? If you have watched the movie, you probably already know. Yes. EE, is that your name? All right, yes. Do you know what this is?
Like the Dubby, I think that's called, or Dubby.
Yeah.
Something.
Yeah, basically, the people floating around. Like, the most memorable one was the one with the head falling off, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, right. I do remember that guy. Perfect. All right, so here are some more pictures of Hogwarts. Hope you guys enjoy. Took me a while to make these PowerPoints, so hope you guys like them. All right. Any questions on these 2 pages yet? These 3 pages? Anyone have any questions that they don't quite understand? Or want to know more about the movie? I mean, we can talk about the movie at the end of class if we have extra time, right? Of course, we all love the movie. So yes, all right. Think we're gonna move on. And I want to read this part. Anyone? All right. E. There we go. Got you. Go ahead.
Okay. Ooh, he said with an evil crackle. Isaacly? First, wait, what's it called again?
It's called Echo Firsties.
Echo Firsties. What fun! He scooped suddenly at them. They all ducked. Go away, Peeves, or the brownie hear about this. I mean it, barked Percy. Peeves dipped out his tongue and vanishingly dropping the walking sticks on Neville's head. They had heard him zooming away, rattling clothes of armor as he passed. You went to watch out for Peeves, said Percy as they set off again. The bloody Burns, the only one who can control him. He wouldn't even listen to his perfect. Here we are, at the very end of the coral hang. A portal of a very fat woman in a pink skill dress. Password, she said.
Oh, wait. Okay, so that was it on this page. So, yep. So, yeah, very good job. Oh, let's switch. Yeah, so do you guys know what Echo Firsties mean? No? All right, basically, it's like a newcomer to the school. So, like, a first timer here. That's what they call Echo Firsties. Anyone know what Bloody Baron is? It's like, basically, how they have all those ghosts, which we talked about, like, on the last page. Bloody Baron is like the controller of all of those. So like the leader of all the hanging people, like the people floating around in the air. And do you guys like to play Legos at all? Or yeah?
Yeah.
Look at these Hogwarts Legos. Look at how cool they are. Right here, this is like the actual castle. Think this is the potion class. And look at this, Professor Snape. See that? This is just so cool to see. Right here, this dude. All right, let's keep on going. Password? She said, Caput, dude, I cannot pronounce this. Capodraconus, said Percy. And the portrait swung forward to reveal a round hole in the wall. They all scrambled through it. Neville needed a leg up and found themselves in the Gryffindor common room, a cozy round room full of squashy armchairs. Percy directed the girls through one door to their dormitory and the boys through another. At the top of a spiral staircase, they were obviously in one of the towers. They found their beds at last. 5 four-posters hung with deep red velvet curtains. Their trunks had already been brought up. Too tired to talk much, they pulled on their pajamas and fell into bed. Great food, isn't it? Ron muttered to Harry through the hangings. Get off, Scrabbers. He's chewing on my sheets. So apparently they got to their dorm room. And do you think the first timers enjoyed it? Maybe not, because like they didn't really even have a chance to look at it before they went to bed, because they were also tired, right? Like they all got super tired and just wanted to sleep. Yeah. Here are some more Legos from Harry Potter. This is a Hogwarts village right here. Looks pretty cool. And here is another class. All right. Lastly, someone want to read this? All right, E, I guess you again. Here we go. Go ahead.
Wait, where are we at?
Oh, we are perhaps Harry had eaten a bit too much.
Perhaps Harry had eaten a bit too much because he had a very strange dream. He was wearing Porford clothes, tramp pants, which
Professor Quiros.
Professor Carroll kept talking to him, telling him he must transfer to Slytherin at once because it was his destiny. Harry told the drum band he didn't want to be in Slytherin. It got heavier and heavier. He tried to pull it off, but it tightened painfully, and there was Malfoy laughing at him as he strangely struggled with it. Then Malfoy was a burst of green light, and Harry woke.
I think you skipped the line. Then Malfoy turned into the Hook-Nosed
Noise teacher snapped, who laughed, became high and cold. There was a burst of green light, and Harry woke up sleepy and shaking. He rolled over and fell asleep, and when he woke next day, he didn't remember the dream at all. Chapter 8 also.
Yeah, no. So up until here, very good job. So, all right, that's all for chapter 7. What do you guys think about chapter 7? Anyone? Just anyone? No one?
It was awesome.
Are you guys just being quiet today, or is it just y'all always this quiet? All right, I guess I'll talk a little bit about chapter 7. Like, even though I didn't read this with you guys, but based on what I've read myself, this is talking about how they got divided into the different houses, and all the kids just settling into their houses, right? Anyone want to confirm that for me? Like yes, no, maybe, kinda.
Yes, no, maybe so.
Okay, I'll treat that as a yes. Not really a yes, but I'll treat that as a yes. All right, here we go. So yeah. So this is all from chapter 7. Here we go. So here goes some more Legos. This is the book, the super dangerous book, right? It's gonna bite him. And this is another class. So yes, overall this is pretty fun. And let me pull out my different PDF, and we're gonna go into chapter 8.
Chapter 8.
Yeah, exactly, right? So exciting. Chapter 8. Ooh, hooray. All right. Here we go. Can you read it again? Sure. Here we go. Go ahead, chapter 8.
There, look. There, next to the tall kid with the red hair, wearing the glasses. Did you see his face? Did you see his scar? Whispers followed Harry from the moment he left his dormitory. Is it? The next day, people lining up outside classrooms stood on tippy toe to get a look at him, or on doubled back to pass him in carriages again. Starting, Harry wished they wouldn't, because he was trying to concentrate on finding his way to classes. There were 142 staircases at Hogwarts, wide, sweeping, once narrow, rickety ones, some that lead somewhere different on a Friday, some with a vanishing step halfway up that you had to remember to jump. Then there were doors that wouldn't open unless you asked politely or tricked them in exactly the right place, and doors that weren't really doors at all, but solid walls, just pretending. It was also very hard to remember where anything was, because it all seems to move around a lot. The people in the portrait kept going to visit each other, and Harry was sure the coat of armor could walk. The ghost didn't.
Oh, wait. Right here. Yep, that's it. So, all right, again, very good job. You've been reading super well today. I'm actually impressed.
I like reading.
Very impressed. All right, yeah, so all the way until here, what do you guys think right here? People are saying, did you see his face? Did you see a scar? Like, and there, look, where next to the talkie with red hair. Do you think that Harry is like a little different than everyone else? Is that why people are just looking at him this way? Maybe. Anyone? Anyone?
What did you say?
Oh, I was just asking, like, if you think Harry was different than anyone else because of like how he looked, like, he has that scar on his forehead right here.
Yeah.
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 Right.
Yeah. So, do you think people are looking at him differently?
Yeah.
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 They shouldn't do that because differences makes everyone special.
Yes, I do agree with you on that. So yeah. So yep, they should not be doing that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I completely agree with you on that. All right. So yes. All right. I'll keep on reading. The ghosts didn't help either. It was always a nasty shock when one of them glided suddenly through a door you were trying to open. Nearly headless Nick was always happy to point new Gryffindors in the right direction. But Peeves, the poltergeist, was worth 2 locked doors and a trick staircase if you met him when you were late for class. He would drop waste paper basket on your head, pull rugs from under your feet, pelt you with bits of chalk, or sneak up behind you, invisible, grab your nose, and screech, got your conch. Even worse than Peeves, if that was possible, with a caretaker, Argus Filch. Harry and Ron managed to get on the wrong side of him on their very first morning. Filch found them trying to force their way through a door that unluckily turned out to be the entrance to the out of bounds corridor on the 3rd floor. He wouldn't believe they were lost, was sure they were trying to break into it on purpose, and was threatening to lock them in the dungeons when they were rescued by Professor Quirrell, who was passing. Filch owned a cat called Mrs. Norris, a scrawny, dust-colored creature with bulging, lamp-like eyes, just like Filch's. She patrolled the corridors alone. Break a rule in front of her, put just one toe out of line, and she'll whisk off for Filch, who would appear, wheezing 2 seconds later. Filch knew the secret pathways of the school better than anyone, except perhaps the Weasley twins, and could pop up as suddenly as any of the ghosts. The students all hated him, and it was the dearest ambition of many to give Mrs. Norris a good kick. All right, from here, anyone want to keep on reading from and then? All right, James, you want to read? Go ahead. From like right here, if you see my screen, it's what I highlighted.
And then, once you had managed to find them, there was the classes themselves. There was a lot more to magic, as Harry quickly found out, than waving your wand and saying a few funny words. They had to study the night skies through their telescopes every Wednesday at midnight and learn the names of different stars and the movements of the planets. 3 times a week they went out to the greenhouses behind the castle to study herbology with a dumpy little witch called Professor Sprout, where they learned how to take care of all the strange plants and the fungi, and found out what they were used for.
Oh yeah, very good job. Good job. All right, let's read a little more and we'll call it a day. Easily the most boring class was History of Magic, which was the only one taught by a ghost. Professor Biz had been very old. Indeed, when he had fallen asleep in front of the staff room fire and got up next morning to teach, leaving his body behind him, Biz droned on and on while they scribbled down names and dates. and got Emetic the Evil and Uric the Oddball mixed up. Professor Flitwick, the charms teacher, was a tiny little wizard who had to stand on a pile of books to see over his desk. At the start of their first class, they took the roll call, and when he reached Harry's name, he gave an excited squeak and toppled out of sight. Professor McGonagall was again different. Harry had been quite right to think she wasn't a teacher to cross, strict and clever. She gave them a talking to the moment they sat down in her first class. Transfiguration is some of the most complex and dangerous magic you will learn at Hogwarts, she said. Anyone messing around in my class will leave and not come back. You have been warned. So there we go. We just looked over all the teachers at Hogwarts. What do you guys think about the teachers? Anyone? Any thoughts on professors? Annie, Michael, y'all been relatively quiet today. Anything you want to share at all? No? All right. That is also fine. Guess we can keep on going. Someone else want to read from Dan. She changed her desk. All right, E, here we go. You've been really, really good today. All right, let's see from right here.
Is it me or?
Yeah, E, if you want to read from there. There we go.
Okay. Then she changed her desk into a pig and back again. They were all very impressed and couldn't wait to get started, but soon realized they weren't going to be changing the furniture into animals for a long time. After taking a lot of complicated notes, they were each given a match and started trying to turn it into a needle. By the end of the lesson, only Hermione Granger hadn't made any difference to her match. Professor McGonagall showed the class how it had gone all silver and pointy and gave Hermione a rare smile. The class everyone had really been looking forward to was defense against the dark arts, but Quirrell's lessons turned out to be a bit of a joke. His classroom smelled strongly of garlic, which everyone said was to ward off a vampire he'd met in Romania and was afraid would be coming back to get him one of these days. His turban, he told them, had been given to him by an African prince as a thank you for getting rid of a troublesome zombie, but they weren't sure they believed this story. For one thing, when Miss Finnegan asked eagerly to hear how Quirrell had fought off the zombie, Quirrell went pink and started talking about the weather. For another, they had noticed that a funny smell hung around the turban, and the Weasley twins insisted that it was stuffed full of garlic as well, so that Quirrell was protected wherever he went.